What kind of gets to me a little bit, and I've had a bit of to and fro with boxing fans, is people kind of like, they don't give you your accolades or the credit that you deserve. You know, someone that's like a pioneer, a trailblazer in boxing for women in boxing. We've seen that it's a hot topic now. We had the Katie Taylor, Serrano presser. You know, it's a hot word, it's a buzzword. But your thoughts on your journey as a female in boxing and the adversities that you've had come up against and what you've had to do to continuously having to keep pushing through them.
Do go into like some selfish, horrible, nasty, mean mode for 10 weeks of a training camp, and you know, it's all for, and someone said the other day, you know, for are the highs in boxing worth the lows, and they are, otherwise you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't do it. There's loads of times I question to myself, what am I doing, why do I do this? And then, you know, you hear, you know, next in the ring, Natasha Jonas, and your crowd goes mad, your music comes on and you walk out, and it's all for that, you know.
October Red Boxing here with the lovely, the wonderful, one of my favourite female fighters, Natasha Jonas. Welcome back to October Red Boxing here in Manchester, world title fight. Talk to us about that.
I mean, I couldn't have asked any more of Ben. I've literally moaned and harassed them for months, saying, you know, we've tried, you know, getting opponents that are better, higher in the tables than I am, in the rankings, than I am, and not everybody wants to fight. It's been tough. So I said, right, forget that. If that's not going to happen, I'm not going to move up in the rankings in any of the lower weight divisions and put myself in a mandatory position. Let's just go for a title. And he came back and said, okay, it's 154, your opportunity. Who am I to turn it down? Like, I can't be fussy. And I didn't even question the weight. My first question to Ben, okay, who's the opponent? And that was it. That's like, I believe whatever weight I'm good enough. I believe I'm strong enough, and I just got to do exactly what I do in the gym on Saturday night, and there'll be no issue.
I remember we spoke, I think it was back in Liverpool actually, and you said that you was prepared to fluctuate the weight to get the title. A true woman of your word, you've done it now, and you've got that title on Saturday. What kind of gets to me a little bit, and I've had a bit of to and fro with boxing fans, is people kind of like, they don't give you your accolades or the credit that you deserve. You know, someone that's like a pioneer, a trailblazer in boxing for women in boxing. We've seen that it's a hot topic now. We had the Katie Taylor, Serrano presser. You know, it's a hot word, it's a buzzword. But your thoughts on your journey as a female in boxing and the adversities that you've had come up against and what you've had to do to continuously having to keep pushing through them.
Yeah, I've been through a range of emotions in boxing. There's been lots of ups and downs. That's the amateur and professional. I think most people do. For fight fans, all they see is the 20, 30, whatever minutes you're in the ring. But there's a whole process and a whole dedication and a whole sacrifice that you have to go through to even get to that position. And we do put ourselves on that like kind of platform for you to be able to critique, or you know, to have your say about how we perform, but you don't see the back stuff, and that's sometimes the hardest part. You know, I do sacrifice time with my little girl, and I do miss out on big occasions, and I do go into like some selfish, horrible, nasty, mean mode for 10 weeks of a training camp, and you know, it's all for, and someone said the other day, you know, for are the highs in boxing worth the lows, and they are, otherwise you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't do it. There's loads of times I question to myself, what am I doing, why do I do this? And then, you know, you hear, you know, next in the ring, Natasha Jonas, and your crowd goes mad, your music comes on and you walk out, and it's all for that. And, you know, I just for me, I just want peace with my boxing career. As good as it's been, there's just something eating away at me that I haven't achieved, and maybe the world title is that, and I finally bring that belt back to my little girl and say we did it.
Yeah, you mentioned that when you didn't bring the belt home, and I don't know, my heart kind of sunk when I listened to that, because I've seen your social media. I know like you're an active mom. You know, you and your daughter, you can see the closeness with the two of you. So now that you've had to go back into camp again, not that I'd say that you keep out the gym anyway, how is that sacrifice? Because sometimes I think people don't appreciate what it's like being a full-time mom and a full-time career woman, and finding that balance, because really you've chosen to be a boxer, so that comes first and people don't see that.
I think sometimes we look at the world like every athlete has to be selfish, and we look at that it's got like pure negative connotations, but you know, you have to be that person if you want to be, you know, a top performing athlete. You have to be. It's not. This is about. I'm a mum and I'm a mum first, but I'm also a human being with my own dreams and my own goals and my own motivation and my own drive, and that comes from my sport. And I have to, you know, do what satisfies me, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and then go back to being. But the good thing about being a parent is once I shut the door on the boxing and open the door to my house, I'm a totally different person. So I can change in and out of the characters who I need to be. But when I'm that athlete, and that's it.
I was about to say, wouldn't you find it tough? Like, it's kind of like chameleonizing, being one person, like an alter ego, one for a better word, where you have to like switch your personality. It's like you're in work mode, you go into the office, you know, you're going to knock 7 shades of shit out of someone, you're going to get a belt, or you're just doing it to work your way up the rankings. And then like you open the door and it's like, hi little one, how are you today? How was school?
Yeah, I think Beyonce describes her alter ego as Sasha Fierce. I think she's described it as, and she just and you just switch, you automatically. But I don't think, you know, my work is a little bit different, but there's lots of working mums out there, you know, who go through the same struggles. And sometimes when I speak to my friends who, like, all our kids are like 4 months between, they have the same problems. So I know that I'm not alone in thinking that, oh, I'm not spending enough time with it, or I'm not, you know, that's a issue most working mums have. But, you know, for men, most men, it's a lot different, because it's expected to be the women's job. So, you know, when I first came back into boxing, everyone's like, oh, she's a mum now and she's back boxing. No one said that to like Tom Stalker or, you know, anyone else, or, you know, Fraser. No one says that to Fraser, because that's just what it's expected. But obviously it was a big thing because I was a mum, just because I'm a female. But I don't see it like that. It's just, you know, I'm a working mum. It's just my job's a little bit different. I've got to make them sacrifices worth it.
And you talk about, you know, you say that you've got to feel there's something that's niggling at you, and you believe that it could be, you know, the world title. You want to bring that belt home to your little girl. But talk to me a little bit about the addiction in boxing, because I've got a little feeling, even when you do win that belt, I don't think it's going to stop.
I think that's not boxing. That's just the athlete in you. You always, you know, I've been targeted, like a targeted athlete now for, you know, since 2005, and I'm always working to targets. Like people in work are working to their work targets. I'm always assessed on that last performance, my next performance, and to take that away and have nothing, it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? Where does my drive come from? Where does my motivation to be better and do better come from? And that's what I think when it's all said and done, that a lot of athletes struggle with, because you've got this whole, you know, alter ego, you've got this whole vision of who you are, and people see you as, you know, I'm Natasha, the female boxer that's done this, done that. Okay, you're not that person anymore. Now you're just Tasha. How do you live with just being Tasha? And so that's the bit that athletes struggle with. But will it eat away with me? I can't say. I'll always be striving. If I believe that I've still got it mentally, if I believe I've still got it physically, then I will always push on. But, you know, we'll see when that happens. I just don't want to go away with any regrets, and that's what it is as well, more than, you know, taking the opportunities. If you don't work out in 10 years' time, I look back and went, oh, what a great time that was. If I didn't do it, I'd be like, oh, what would have happened then? And you know, you only get these small windows and small opportunities to do great things, and I think when they come, you've got to take them.
I love that drive, that ambition, that purpose. I wouldn't say it's passion, because passion comes and goes with feelings. I'd say it's purpose, because it's something that you feel that you have to do, something that you was meant to do. We talk about you upping your weight. You mentioned on the top table about your nutrition. How's that gone then with fluctuating the weight? Because I know that you're always someone that trains hard in the gym. So how have you managed to like maintain that with the new nutrition?
Yeah, I think just because I've gone up 3 weights, it doesn't mean like less diet and more eating. there's like lots of things that's gone into camp. I've always worked with a strength and conditioning coach anyway. I've added extra sessions to be bigger, to be stronger. My nutritional, obviously I get a lot more calories to play with. I'm hydrated. I feel like Fraser, I've come into this week and I'm not one bit of my mental state is on the way in. I'm just like, I'm more focused on the fight, and it just takes another worry away. I'm not worrying about the weight. I know I'm going to be on weight, so it doesn't matter. And I've trained at the weight I am now, and probably the weight I'll be in the ring for the last 5-6 weeks, to make sure that I can perform at that weight, because it's okay. Just because it says 11 stone doesn't mean I have to be 11 stone. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that. And it's okay if you are 11 stone, but it's got to perform at 11 stone. And I've got optimal training weights that I've fought against Harper, against Katie, and I am going to be a little bit heavier than them. But I've been at this weight and I've been comfortable, and I've just got to do it on Saturday.
And it's about being comfortable at that weight. We move on to your opponent, Namus. I'm sorry, I am terrible with names. She's obviously, what they see is a test. A couple of people have mentioned that, it's going to be a tough fight for Natasha. I mean, what is your message in regards to that, to the boxing fans, to the doubters out there that sometimes put you on a little bit of a back shelf and don't believe in you like your true fans do?
I get it. She is naturally a lot bigger. She's been a pro for a very long time. She's had her own. She's been experienced at being a world champion. So I get it. But I was underdog against Terry. I was underdog against Katie. Nothing changes. I was supposed to do. I wasn't supposed to perform then. I wasn't supposed to perform. It's I've got a knack. I've developed a knack of when I have to step up, I do. And I haven't been in a world title fight yet. That hasn't been a fight of the year. So
you're definitely an entertaining fighter. And the thing is, I like that underdog because they never see you coming. I think it's always good to be the underdog. It's good to have people doubt you because then you're continuously proving people wrong. Whether you like it or not, or whether the fans like it or not, it's always good to get them by surprise.
Yeah, you mean underestimate me at your own peril.
I like that. So, we're going to go on to the card. Which is your favourite fight and why? And then obviously we'll go into the predictions for the Khanvsbrook.
I think there's a few. I'll be deadly honest. The one I want to see most, because I just absolutely love the guy, is Fraser Clark. So I want to see him get the ball rolling, get a good start. I am interested in the Bradley Ray fight. I think that's a great fight. But after that press conference, I know I'm going to be running to the changing room, stripping, getting changed and running back out. I don't even think I'll get changed. I'll probably just sit there next to the skybox, sweating with my belt, ready to watch the fight because, sparks are going to fly.
Who do you think's going to have it? Because I've been toing and froing on this week it's this one, and I can't make my mind up. What are your thoughts on that?
I think everyone's done the same. I've been 100% can't. Then I'm like, actually, Kel. And I'm like, oh God. And now all I'll say is that, I can see more ways of Khan winning. I think one punch in boxing changes everything. Kel has definitely got that one punch. And, people talk about form and whatever and all these things. That goes out the window when you're boxing someone who's, when you've got a heated rivalry like that. Form, past, what you've done, it doesn't matter. When your ego and pride's on the line, anything can happen, and may the best man win on Saturday.
Thank you so much for your time, Natasha. Any final words from the coach? Oh, he's got no final words.
It's not like Joe.
He's had enough. He wants his food. He's hungry. Listen, all the best for Saturday. I'll be cheering you on ringside as I always do. October Red Boxing with the lovely Natasha Jonas.
Thank you, and thank you for all your support as usual.
Smash the potters up. See you later. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.